Imagine scoring a goal in the World Cup, a dream for any soccer player. But what if that goal got you killed? That's exactly what happened to Andrés Escobar. In 1994, the Colombian defender made one mistake, an own goal against the United States. Days later, he was shot and killed outside a bar in Medellín. A tragic accident on the field turned into a real-life nightmare. But how did this happen? Was it just a case of bad luck? Or was there something darker lurking beneath the surface? In this video, we'll dive deep into what led to the death of Andrés Escobar. And trust me, the truth is more shocking than you think. Let's start at the beginning. By the early 90s, Colombian soccer wasn't just a sport, it was an obsession. And honestly, it was more than that. It was hope. Think about it. Colombia was in chaos. Drug cartels ran the streets like they owned the place. Pablo Escobar and other cartel bosses were making billions. And violence was an everyday reality. Kidnappings, assassinations, you name it. Colombia was making headlines for all the wrong reasons. But soccer was the one thing that made people forget all that chaos. When the national team played, the guns, the fear, the violence, it all faded away. And in 1994, Colombia wasn't just good, they were unstoppable. They had just humiliated Argentina 5-0 in their own backyard during the World Cup qualifiers. That wasn't a win, it was a declaration. Colombia wasn't coming to the World Cup just to participate. They were coming to take it all. People weren't just excited. They believed this World Cup would finally make Colombia known for something other than drugs and crime. And right in the middle of it all was Andrés Escobar, the heart and soul of the team. He was calm, disciplined, and a class act on and off the pitch. He wasn't flashy, but he was reliable, a leader who played with pride and dignity in a country that desperately needed both. But here's the thing. When expectations are that high, the pressure isn't just about winning or losing. The Colombian government wanted a win, the fans wanted a win, and more importantly, the drug lords wanted a win. In Colombia, losing a soccer match didn't just break hearts, it could cost lives. And no one knew that better than Andrés Escobar. The stakes couldn't have been higher. Now, the day that changed everything. Colombia faced the United States in a must-win game. And when I say must-win, I'm not exaggerating. They had already lost their opening match to Romania, a game they were heavily favored to win. Now, their World Cup dreams were hanging by a thread. The pressure? Unreal. The entire country was watching. The politicians, the fans, the drug lords. Everyone wanted a win. No, everyone expected a win. And then, the 34th minute happened. A low cross came flying into Colombia's box. In the chaos, Andrés Escobar did what any defender would do. He stretched out his leg, trying to block the pass. But instead of clearing the ball, it bounced off his foot, straight into the back of his own net. Own goal. Silence, shock, disaster. You could almost feel the weight of an entire nation crashing down on Andrés' shoulders. Colombia lost the match 2-1, and just like that, the dream was over. A team that many believed could win it all was eliminated in the group stage. Now, here's the thing. Normally, an own goal? It's just a part of the game. Unlucky, sure. But no one blames you for life. But Colombia wasn't normal, not in 1994. That one mistake didn't just ruin their World Cup, it cost people money, big money. Cartel bosses had bet millions on Colombia's success. And when the team lost, so did they. And in a world where violence and revenge were just business as usual, someone had to pay. When Andrés Escobar returned home to Medellín, things felt off. He didn't know it yet, but after that own goal, his time was running out. Here's the thing. When you mix soccer, drug cartels, and millions of dollars in illegal gambling, bad things happen. Colombia's loss to the US wasn't just a disappointment. It was a financial disaster for the cartels who had bet big on the team going far. Andrés tried to move on. Friends said he was his usual calm and humble self, but behind the scenes there were threats. People close to him warned that he wasn't safe. But Andrés, ever the gentleman, believed it would blow over. It didn't. After the tournament, Escobar decided to return to Colombia instead of visiting relatives in Las Vegas, Nevada. On the evening of July 1st, 1994, 5 days after the elimination of Colombia from the World Cup, Escobar called his friends, and they went to a bar in the El Poblado neighborhood in Medellín. What happened next is both chilling and heartbreaking. That night, Andrés was just trying to enjoy himself. Afterward, they went to a liquor store. Shortly after, they arrived at the El Indio nightclub. His friends split up. At approximately 3 a.m. the next morning, Escobar was alone in the parking lot of El Indio in his car when 3 men appeared. They began arguing with him. The group of men reportedly mocked him for his own goal. Always composed, he tried to defuse the situation and headed for the parking lot. They followed him there. 2 of the men took out handguns. Escobar was shot 6 times with a .38 caliber pistol. Witnesses later claimed that with every shot, the killer shouted "Goal!" mocking the own goal that sealed his fate. Once for each time a football commentator had said it during the broadcast. The group then drove away, leaving Escobar to bleed to death. Escobar was taken to the hospital where he died 45 minutes later. He was 27 years old. The next day, Humberto Castro Muñoz, a cartel bodyguard and driver for Santiago Gallón, a man who had lost big betting on Colombia, was arrested and confessed to the murder. In 1995, Castro was sentenced to 43 years in prison, but that didn't last. By 2001, his sentence was reduced to 26 years, and in 2005, after just 11 years, he walked free thanks to good behavior. Pamela Cascardo, Andrés' girlfriend, is convinced corruption played a role. After all, how does someone kill a national hero and serve only 11 years? Then, in 2013, former coach Francisco Maturana claimed the murder had nothing to do with soccer, but rather was due to being in the wrong place at the wrong time, at a violent time in Colombia's history. Escobar's funeral was attended by more than 120,000 people. Every year, people honor Escobar by bringing photographs of him to matches. In July 2002, the city of Medellín unveiled a statue in honor of his memory. Andrés Escobar lost his life over a soccer game. But in truth, it wasn't just about that one mistake. It was about a country trapped in a cycle of violence, where even a game could mean life or death. Escobar's murder tarnished the image of Colombia internationally. The sport that was supposed to unite a nation became a reminder of how deeply violence was rooted in Colombian society. But here's the thing. Andrés was more than that one moment, more than an own goal. After Escobar's death, his family founded the Andrés Escobar Project to help disadvantaged children learn to play football. And even in tragedy, Andrés Escobar remains the true gentleman of football. For those who wish for a more detailed explanation of the whole thing, in 2022, Netflix released a mini-series titled Goals and Contra, based on his life. So, it's a must-watch. Escobar is still held in high regard by Colombian fans. In a newspaper column published shortly before his killing, he said of Colombia's World Cup, "It's been a most amazing and rare experience. We'll see each other again soon because life does not end here." He was a symbol of grace under pressure, of integrity in a world full of chaos. Make sure to subscribe for more football analysis and let us know in the comments, what were Andrés Escobar's most memorable aspects before his tragic fate? We'll see you in the next one.